Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included. Unfortunately, today I'm very sick, so this is gonna be a short episode. I intended not to make one at all, but then somehow I still ended up here. Though I cannot really spend the usual time on it, I still wanted to continue from the previous episode. Namely, we started filling up the Planetary Launcher here. Right now we have 99.4 wrap bolts in here. I believe we can store about 200 or so. And then theoretically it should send out a signal and bring everything to a grinding halt. So the question is, what are we gonna send over first of all? We're gonna need some sand, coal, plastic and probably metals. Is there gonna be a way for me to exactly send over the right amount of materials? Probably not without a little bit of automation. Right now, of course, my duplicants are gonna bring in the materials themselves. Let's make sure this has a high priority and we're gonna start with sand. I guess actually one way we could control this a little bit better is by sending the signal over here in order to shut down the conveyor loader. This will allow us to first load up the conveyor loader and therefore have a controllable amount of materials in there. Yeah, one conveyor loader fits exactly 1 ton actually. That's good to know. Before we do anything else, we need to change the destination. Obviously, we want to shoot to Crudial, bring some materials over. Okay, I think I got it. We can test it out. We already set the destination. Let's also make sure that we have our beacon here. Yeah, it's gonna land here. And we also have the payload opener. Gosman is just shoveling poop. I guess they're gonna be happy once something else happens. So now we should be able to just enable this, right? And we're gonna send over the materials. What's happening? Ah, I totally forgot to connect this. Okay, and now we just hope dupes aren't gonna bring more sand while this is actually unloading. Oh no, that was already a shot. So if we check out the star map now, we can see one of these interplanetary payloads is on its merry way. So we had enough for 2 shots, and did somebody deliver sand? Okay, they did deliver a little bit, but now let's disable that. Okay. The next thing I would like to send over is a ton of plastic, and we can simply disable this, so we will be sending 1 ton exactly, more or less. This is great. Look at that. It's already reaching us in about 90 seconds. And we have all these nice payloads. I love it. The only thing we still need to do, obviously, is automate it. We need some signals here in order to determine what we don't have enough of, and that's going to be the launcher that sends over the materials. This means we don't only need an extensive rocketry program, we're also going to need a whole bunch of interplanetary launchers. I mean, at least one for each material we want to send over on a regular basis, and then maybe one launcher that we can adjust and just send over some special materials whenever we need to build something. Gonna enable this again, and we're gonna fill it up with a whole bunch of plastic. Good stuff, good stuff. Oh no, I totally missed the arrival. Oh man. But yeah, here we go. Just a couple of blocks away, and now let's check it out here. Is Gosman gonna do that? It's not their highest priority right now. Yeah, of course, we need a little bit of power. That's fine. By the way, I'm letting them use the hamster wheel all the time so they can get their freaking athletics up. I mean, their speed is just unfreaking bearable. Looks like we have another payload going over. Like this, it's gonna be quite easy to actually establish a base. I mean, why would you do everything with rockets if that is also an option? Certain things will make more sense with the rocket, obviously, but this here is probably a good example of when it doesn't. So I only wish we can generate the rat bolts a little bit quicker, and I believe this setup was quicker. If I'm not mistaken, this was over 100 rat bolts. I guess we can observe it the next time we are actually researching something. So right now, I'm just leaving everything here. Yeah, we already brought the plastic over. What was another thing we needed? The coal, of course. So a batch of coal, it shall be. And then in the meantime, on Crudial, we can see lots and lots of payloads. Let's just hope Gosman will be taking care of that eventually. And then we should already have enough refined metals for a rocket platform. Actually, looks like I already used it up. Yeah, we might also want to send over some metals just to have that out of the way. By the way, is there a meter valve for items or only gas and liquids? That might be useful to regulate what we need. Or you know what? Even better. Yeah, we can have multiples of these conveyor loaders and then just enable the one we actually need. So we can have one interplanetary launcher for multiple materials. And then we just need to send the signals to the conveyor loaders and the right materials will be sent over. This is great. Nice, looks like most of the payloads have been opened. We can probably deconstruct this and the pod here as well for some additional materials. I observed Cosmin a little bit and I figured the biggest problem about them is at the moment they cannot carry enough. If I'm looking at the skill, we do have another skill and we have another morale point. So my suggestion would be to spend that in improved carrying. That's going to give them plus 400 kilograms carrying capacity and we still are okay in terms of morale. But yeah, obviously we need to upgrade that. I just wanted to make sure they can actually carry a lot more, otherwise everything just takes so long. My goal is definitely to set up a rocket platform and then create a living module, but I don't think we're gonna get to it today because soon enough I will have to go back to bed. I'm already feeling it. By the way, we've also discovered the oil biome here at the bottom and we will be getting plenty of lead and more importantly the fossils here. With those we can make lime and therefore we will be able to produce almost unlimited steel. Another thing I would like to figure out is what can we find everywhere, what types of volcanoes and geysers and vents do we have, but I cannot really dig through here. Yeah, we might actually focus on the rocket platform and a living module so that we can send, for instance, Harold over in order to take care of the rest. And then there's another duplicant in here. I don't know, maybe this guy's way better. Looks like we could actually take another duplicant in terms of food availability. But then oxygen is going to be another problem. Too bad there is a layer of water here, otherwise we would be having way more polluted oxygen off-gassing. Wonderful. Gosman is taking care of some more payloads. Actually, you can put quite a few in there and it's automatic. That's good. Great stuff. Where's it even going? Oh, I have to export it. That actually makes sense for now. I think I'm just gonna set it up right there so items drop on the floor in this case. So this is kind of bad news because it means we need to send Harold over just to actually build those rails. Yeah, even for the conveyor chute we need mechatronics engineering. Now let me see, we do have some chutes over here, or did I already take them apart? I figured we could potentially have our payload opener here, but then this would still not be enough, yeah. And there's actually no way for me to extract it. This is absolutely horrible. So we will have to focus on the platform. I'm gonna send Harold over to at least build that stuff. But this is really unfortunate, I have to say. I don't think we can actually extract the materials without using the rails. And I can also not use this rail here because I have no chute, which also needs to be built by a mechatronics engineer. Oh man, I have to say, this is really, really disappointing. Let me shut this down for the time being. What do we have in here? Still more coal. And check this out, we did not have power for the beacon and therefore the payloads landed somewhere. But yeah, essentially we could make our way over here and then we should have enough carbon dioxide to fill the rocket up again, right? Actually, we don't have plenty, but it should be enough for a one-way trip. So, no, a two-way trip. We bring Harold over here and then we can send them back with the carbon dioxide. The only problem is Gosman is gonna take a whole while to actually build this. Okay, I actually had two more ideas. I mean, we are already storing the raw materials in here. That means they are not technically in their payload anymore. So theoretically, we should be able to deconstruct this. And as far as I know the game, it's gonna give me those resources back. And this theoretically means we do not even need the access point. But I also just see that we could actually have it here. If I have the machine here, then this is... Ah, no, it's not working. We need one more rail. Okay, that is disappointing. So let's hope this is working here. We just deconstruct it and then we still get those materials. Of course, it is now downtime for Gosman. What you gonna do? Let's check out the printables. No, thank you. Gonna send over some more coal while we can. Wonderful. And then eventually on Crudial, we are gonna switch to coal power instead of the manual generator. This is also gonna create some more carbon dioxide we can use for the rockets. And of course, because it is so chilly on this planetoid, we'll basically never have problems cooling things down. Come on, moment of truth. Give me something good. Yes, look at that. We got the plastic, we got some cobalt ore. What do we have? Sand as well. Alright, sweet. This is actually a crazy alternative. We just open things up and then deconstruct it. I mean, this is much easier than sending a duplicant over. Of course, it is not more elegant, but we now have materials. And there should be some coal. 200 kilograms. Great, okay. This is gonna save us a lot of time when Gosman doesn't have to use the manual generator anymore. Maybe we can already go ahead and set up the smart battery. We definitely have some spare copper for that. We hook that up. Then I'm gonna take this apart and also take apart the battery and the generator here. Sweet! Thank you very much. Coal generator, where do we have you? Right there and there. Hook that up. And also we need some automation wire that goes directly here. And that means I'm gonna need at least 2 more crafts here with the cobalt. Actually, we only get 50 kilograms. Let's do 5 crafts. But I have to say, Gossman is getting faster and faster. By now, I barely have time to keep up with them, wink wink. Yeah, athletics is still -2 at this point. Jeez, I wish I took a better duplicant than Gossman. But he wasn't supposed to survive, what can I say? I feel like I'm not to blame here. Good, right now I would like to figure out whether or not we have a respectable setup here with the Swords. So we are gonna do a little bit of research just to activate this, and then I can see how many rat bolts we are collecting with the 4 Swords and the rat bolt generator a little bit closer. So if we check out research, we just want to do something with applied science here. So let's unlock the gas range. We're not gonna use that immediately, but it's one of those things for the late game and better food, and so we will be using it eventually. Devon is coming in and they're first using the research station. Maybe I can bump this up a little bit. I want you to use that one. Yeah, wonderful. And we are activating the system again, and now we can see 125 rats a cycle. So this is much, much better. Maybe it is even going to be better if we put this one more block down. I don't know. But that means we want to switch the system. I mean, it is a significant increase. All we have to do is deconstruct this. This is still going to be on the same level, but the auto sweeper and the entirety of the farm will have to move. No problem. Let me just go ahead and deconstruct this. We want this to be much better, but it's good we explored our possibilities. Definitely not worth it in this case. I think I might want to interrupt this briefly. There we go. And we will put the rat bolt generator back to where it belongs. Then all we have to do is put our farms one more block up, and we're gonna fill this up with insulation. Yeah, this was actually much easier than I first anticipated. And we still have our naphtha here. I'm so fond of naphtha. It usually doesn't behave as badly as the other liquids. Okay, now we have a problem with the conveyor receptacle, which is in the way a little bit. That is unfortunate, and it doesn't look like I'm gonna have the space for it, but what we can do is move this 2 more blocks up. And of course, to maintain the liquid log, I might want to fill this up completely. I'm also gonna move my switch here a little bit further up to accommodate for everything. And then we'll need to bring the conveyor receptacle 1 more block up. That should be good. Okay, looks like we can already take this out, replace that ceiling with an auto sweeper. And the conveyor rail actually needs to go up 1 more block. Yeah, I do need the space. So auto sweeper goes right there. Time to plant back our Swords. Gonna copy those settings, and I'm gonna be glad. Using fewer Swords for more radiation, that's a good deal. Okay, much better. I think this could add up now. We have our conveyor receptacle. We just want to pick up all the materials, and then I guess we can get this started again. And I almost forgot, I also need to disable the auto sweeper. So good thing I saw this before I sealed it up. And there we go, collecting 125 rats a cycle. If you have a design with Swords that can collect even more, then let me know. But I think this has been pretty good. Wonderful, and with that out of the way, we have upgraded the system. There's just one more adjustment I would like to make, namely if we fill this up with a certain amount of rat bolts, let's say 50, we always lose a little bit, and I don't want the situation to occur that we shoot 4 rat bolts and then I'm just gonna overfill because we have 199. So what I rather do is have a safety margin of like 55. We will be wasting a bunch of rat bolts, but not quite as many. Cool, and with that out of the way, I would say I'm gonna wrap up today's episode. I really need to go back to bed. I hope you can understand, but I believe we have made some important progress towards being able to establish the base on the second planetoid. Okay, so I know this video will be short because I have to go back to bed now. However, I believe if you subscribed today, I might get much better tomorrow. It's the good type of medicine, so think about it. I noticed something with Gossman. At the moment, I'm not happy with their priorities because, for instance, they farm the bog buckets and then they bring it immediately to the storage and just do it one after another. It is incredibly inefficient. Of course, that is because we don't really have priorities for Gossman. For instance, if we prioritize farming over supplying and storing, this problem will be solved. I'm gonna up their priority all the way for toggling and life support. Attacking can also be all the way up. Something else I would like to have is a high priority for operating, but probably not then farming. So we're gonna lower everything else and keep the operating at the default. So now hopefully Gossman is gonna behave much better. I also would like them to actually supply coal here. No pending deliveries. Wait. Ah, there's my coal actually. Oh no, this is bad. I totally forgot that we did not have power. Okay, that kind of explains our misery, and we need to put back the manual generator. It's an emergency. Thank you very much. Just love the animation when they stop here. Okay, another day gone and we did not really succeed in our mission. I think the problem is the beacon at the moment. We're constantly using the 60 watts here. I want to send some glass over and build a solar panel. So let's go ahead, shoot some more coal over. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Manufactured materials, I would like to bring some glass. So maybe let's go ahead and craft. I don't know, I would say about 16 crafts are gonna do. And that should at least give us 2 solar panels for Gossman. In the meantime, Gossman is charging up the battery again, and my suggestion is to try and switch the targeting beacon off. We have a little bit of spare cobalt that we're gonna set up here and turn this off so it doesn't use power as long as we're not actively using it. I think we have to keep digging and building at the same priority as operating, so we're gonna put it back to default. Wonderful. Good. Now we're not gonna be wasting our power anymore, and then all we have to do is deconstruct the payload opener to get the coal. And we got our coal. Wonderful. That's what I'm talking about. Much, much better. Also everything regulated with the smart battery, of course. Let's maybe put this to 60 and 95 or so. Good. That is definitely one step in the right direction, I would say. Now we just have to grab our other payloads and we should be fine. Cool. I would say with that out of the way, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for your understanding and hopefully I'm gonna feel much better tomorrow. We'll see. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye. Wish Gossman good luck.